Content warning. This episode contains heavy scenes of graphic violence, one of them being at the very beginning. As always, there will be a more detailed content warning in the description below, but for basic guidelines, a lot of the snag racing scenes have intense violence. Stay safe, everyone. Last time on the Strings of Fate podcast, we gotta focus, all right? This is our day to demonstrate what snag racing is to all of you, to allow you to see what the race looks like. And thankfully, with the strings that thankfully I've attached to my name still, I was able to procure us A, seat for the preliminaries, and B, a shot in the final. The air is so pleasant in here and everyone's so excited, but I can't help but notice that the people that were hunting us down just a few days ago were a little bit surrounded. The sport, I feel like it's grown since I last have been here, and I don't want to get you all into something dangerous without me even realizing. You can see that there is somebody that isn't merriment looking at your table. It's just in sort of older gentleman, and he is staring at Vincent.
Ladies and gentlemen, and all those in between, we are ready to rumble!
Echoing out, everyone's just crying out in these screams in cheers.
Are you ready for some snag racing to the death?
The snag racing tournament has begun. For those of you who have yet to witness the beginnings of a snag race and the feeling of being on that track, allow me to attempt to set the scene from the perspective of someone taking part. A younger lad, attitude never great and prospects never high, living hand to mouth, making money in whatever way he can. Turns out he's pretty good with a crossbow and a sword, so the means end up being a bit rougher. But he doesn't back down. He has people he wants to care for and lacks the options afforded to others his age. A man approaches, silly in attire, but offering much more than he's ever made. A striker for a snag racing team, a sport he loved as a kid but hasn't heard much of otherwise. He's told he'd just be filling in if one of the other guys couldn't race, that he probably would never have to pick up the sword, but being on retainer is enough to get paid. So he signs a contract. He's got people to care for and lacks the options. And he thinks nothing of it for a while. He shows up to trainings, learns the risks, but feels like he's got not much to worry about. Until one day they come knocking, saying it's his time. Saying that a main striker can't make it to the final. Saying the contract is binding. And who is he to say that it's not? He's got people to care for and lacks the options. now, at that starting line, he's sick to his stomach. He's never been in a race like this, just a few trainings here and there, but from what he remembers, all he's got to do is not get knocked off. He holds tightly to the railings on the snail as the crowd's cheers are deafening, with his heart beating into his head. The countdown starts, and their screams turn to numbers. He's just got to knock people down and not get knocked down. He's got to get through this race. He's got people to care for, and he lacks any other option. Before he knows it, they're moving, racing towards a marble portal that lights. There's a sudden lurch as the driver rockets the Salankari through. Then he is no longer in the Coliseum. The weather is no longer temperate. It's muggy and warm, almost choking in this silly attire they've squeezed him into. The chains and the leather and the sounds are no longer of the crowd. They're rustling leaves, a chorus of ungodly loud insects and bird cries. The road of the Coliseum is gone, and in its place a rainforest path that winds and weaves quickly and violently. He's no longer anywhere near the Witchwood Market. The setting is fantastical around him, a jungle of enormous trees, vines, and creatures, a road that cuts through it over beautiful and terrifying vistas. There's too much going on. Pillars of earth that rise out of the ground, blocking their path, causing the driver to swerve. Other strikers fire arrow and bolt and spell alike. One of them crashing into his shoulder. He can feel something break. They're not trying to knock him off. They're aiming for something much worse, much more permanent. He fumbles for his crossbow, gritting his teeth through rapid breaths and shooting pain in just moving his shoulder as he desperately holds on. He can't die here. It's not an option. He has people to care for. He finds the grip. An instant of excruciating agony, followed by nothing.
Brutal decapitation by Miss Shell with her signature sleeping serenity. You can get a replica in the merch store right now, actually. If you head down, they've got a special on them. Poor rookie never even saw it coming. The little sluggies are going to have to make a pit stop next lap to get a substitute striker.
Cash moves from hand to hand. People laugh. People groan in disappointment. And the race goes on. This was meant to be a demonstration of snag racing, something that DeVille admitted would be dangerous and could result in serious harm if you're not careful. But now, he sits there, eyes wide, plastered to the screen. A far cry from any of his descriptions. You watch a cutthroat display of extravagant brutality, all painted on the screen in front of you in crisp and gory detail, all accompanied, scored by the rising cheers of the audience, the nobles who stand and they groan and they laugh at death and destruction. There's no course in the Coliseum, but a whole new realm from what it seems. A beautiful land designed to kill those participants unprepared for them. They dash and weave past obstacles, all while turning their attention towards maiming their opponents in a dance of magic swords and snails. You watch as Shelly, Speed, and the slimy demons coat an entire other striker on top of another snail in this slime. You watch him just begin to burn and dissolve right there, and they just breeze past it. It's a highlight. But you all sit there watching this horrific display. Deville, just speechless at the sight. What do you do?
We have to do that. Like, they're just killing them.
No, it's not supposed to be like this. No, it's violence is, yes, a part of the sport, but it's not the focus. People get knocked off of the snails, they may get injured if they fall off at a high speed or on the wrong corner, but it's not, you're not supposed to hurt anyone. You're not supposed to.
They're aiming for them.
They are.
It's just senseless violence.
We can't do this. I can't make you all do this.
What other choice do we have?
Oh, well, there must be some choice. Maybe after this, I can find somebody in the Merriman and talk to them. I don't know. Find some other champion. Find something else. This isn't what we signed up for.
As long as we know we're not going to kill anyone, if we just defend ourselves, that'll be fine, right?
I mean, I don't think they can take us down that easily.
No.
It's not about. I have faith in you all, yes, but I'd rather not put you in the situation if I can. Dresden just kind of leans back. Why do I feel so nervous all of a sudden? He says as he's kind of looking. He says, you think you can convince them to get you all out of this? And listen, I must have some clout. They let me in, right? They can let us out. I don't know.
How, like everyone else in like the VIP room, what are their reactions to it? Is everyone like cheering the same way the people in the audience are?
They cheer, and they cheer in a much more grating way. They stand and they get into these excited pitches where they're just screaming outward, whistling, groaning when the racer that they obviously bet on gets maimed in some way, and then fall back as they laugh with each other, handing, a bag of gold here and there across the table when someone goes down. You're not sure.
I'm gonna kill one of them.
The nobles in this area are enjoying the sport.
Vincent looks like sick to his stomach. He's not having a good time.
Deville sort of looks around to get a read on all of you. I mean, how are all your characters feeling in this moment?
Ladar looks concerned. She's kind of brow furrowed, thinking of anything, any solution, just wondering why. She just looks concerned.
Azrum is definitely disturbed, but is like watching kind of curiously. He's kind of like in shock, but like he's still keeping his eyes on it.
Vincent can't look at the screen. It's like way too much for him.
Mm-hmm.
And like when he notices how the nobles are reacting to people losing their lives, like it's like just a spectacle. He's just angry. He's just mad. His like fists are balled up, staring at the ground.
Deville looks at all of you and says, listen, we can talk about this later, all right? I think we still have time to pull out of this game and find another solution if there is one. I'm sorry, Ladara. I need some time to think about if I want to put you all through this. I know that it will help your friends. I just need time to think.
All right.
Why don't you all get some air? You can go, I don't know, anywhere. Just stay within the Witchwood Market and I'll be able to contact you easier. Yes, some air. I'll watch the rest of the race. Take your minds off it. Do something to entertain yourselves. Just, you don't have to sit here and watch. His eyes kind of look up. This with me.
All right. Well, I did want to check out the Witchwood Market.
Vincent stands up and he's like, good idea. Let's go.
All right. Ezra, what are you going to do?
I actually wanted to stay here. I don't know. I want to see what I can get out of these people.
What you can get out of these people. I don't know. I'm just gonna. So you need someone to help you, And he kind of fists into.
Don't start fighting people in here.
No, God, no. Of course I'm not going to do that.
I don't know. Don't do that.
I feel as though some of these people deserve it.
Well, they might, but not here. Not now.
Well, I just feel like that rich people come to sporting events for reasons, and I want to know what these people's reasons are. We're honored guests that are racing tomorrow, but what's their story?
All right, just stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. And I don't know, maybe you can get some information about, I don't know, anything that might be helpful.
Just don't get on anyone's bad side, okay?
I never do.
Oh, that's not true. But yeah.
When's the last time I got on someone's bad side? That I didn't.
Everyone just let her look at her
That I didn't turn around and get them on my good side.
I just say he is unusually good.
Tristan, do you want to schmooze with the nobles with me?
As pleasant as that sounds, he says, I do feel a bit out of place. I've maybe schmoozed with one or two nobles to get some lodgings for some quick cash, but
What do you... Like, Tristan, what were you doing?
his eyes go wide. He says, up.
what do you think he's
No, that's not. It's not.
I mean, I know how I used to get lodging.
No.
Oh god, we really don't need to have this conversation.
No, okay. No, you're.
We don't need to
missing
talk
it.
about your
shame in
private
that.
life, Dresden. You can
No,
just keep
sorry,
it to
it's not.
yourself.
I mean, everyone, it's not really.
There's no shame in it.
No.
Just live your life, I guess.
As long as you're being safe.
Okay, let's just move past it for a second.
Well, if
I'm
you-
just a
Vincent
little.
was surprisingly
I don't think
level-headed about it.
I feel as though I don't think I'll be able to comfortably talk with these people the way that they make a spectacle out of this. It's a
Well,
little unnerving, even for me.
If you want to come to the Witchwood Market, you're welcome to.
I think I may take you up on that. Smiles. And Auda sort of stands. And he's been looking at you this entire time. Just kind of arms crossed.
What are you looking at? I'd say take a picture. It lasts longer, but you can just carry a mirror around.
He
Good one.
That's
really smart.
He is just kind of staring. He says, I will help you, Ezra.
I didn't ask. No offense. I just don't. You're not the best at talking to people.
I actually am going to use this as an opportunity. In training, you see, you can't always stay stagnant and do the same routines over and over again. You need to gradually challenge yourself.
Yeah,
And
but I don't know. We're graduating from barely knowing how to talk to your friends to now you want to lie to nobles with me. And I'm all for it, but
why? I don't. I can lie.
I think if you just if you follow Azram's lead and
Wait.
try not to give away too much information.
Wait,
you
I
don't need
wanna-
just talk as little as you need to, but you can get out there and stuff.
Yes.
It's good practice.
Wait, I want to try to lie.
About what?
I don't know.
I'm not Auna. His eyes start back and forth.
That's
really good
was
lie.
the
You
best.
think he's gonna
No,
No,
it's fine.
Ladar has been helping me conversation-wise.
Maybe
Maybe not lying-wise, but you are a self-proclaimed adept at charismatic arts. So maybe it would be good to shadow you for a moment.
I can understand why you'd want to learn from the best.
Oh my god.
I didn't say that,
And
but
as your older brother, because I was probably
Did you
born
say
first.
older?
Yeah, I think that I was born first. I just get the
What?
Why
vibe.
do you think that?
what?
How would you
Oh,
know?
we're twins.
Yeah, but I was probably like one of us. It's one at a time, you know?
What if it was
They don't-
Anna?
I thought aren't twins born at the same
Did you
time?
not
Like
know
at
that
the
they're-
exact same time?
Oh no, they're not. No.
Like, I mean,
you
like
know how
one of
babies-
us was first.
Do you know
Yeah,
how
yeah.
babies
Yeah.
are born?
and I bet it was me.
I feel older.
Azram looks at him challengingly.
He kind of straightens his back and stands up a little taller.
So, I understand why you want to come and stick by your big brother's side.
Brother
All right.
of indeterminable age.
And I guess I could show you the ropes. I could show you a few things. But you have to agree to go with whatever I say. And whatever I say we should do.
Fine.
Promise?
I promise.
Whatever I say.
Whatever you say,
Big brother.
brother. Says as he kind of grabs his staff and says, "Now, ability."
All right.
All right, we're gonna go. Just don't do anything crazy. Don't do anything stupid. Don't fight anyone. All right, we'll be back soon.
Be safe, everyone. I will be here. If you need anything, you know where to find me. Chester, can I please have some more slime over here, please? I'm going to need it.
I was
Slime
gonna give
King.
him a kiss when they said slime.
Slime King.
He's been drinking it all day.
As I'm like, I see ya.
He's drinking. Okay.
Chug it.
You all split off. I'd say that from looking at the table, you guys head towards the nearest elevator, and then you begin to make your way around to start schmoozing with nobles, trying to figure out the best nobility. As you make your way to the elevator, you're able to call it quite easily. It's a simple process. Opens up and it's much nicer than the one in Weldon, a lot more enclosed and a little bit higher tech. You kind of open and see that the eye stalks in there have turned on, and there's another screen depicting the race.
He's not looking at it. Oh, it's so bad.
You see Isaac and the Little Sluggies, this fire genasi, with these chains just kind of launch it out towards the masked rider, and you see them sort of turn, make a quick symbol with their hands, holding something in their other, and you watch those chains just dissipate into Starlight as they zoom past to take second place. And as you kind of get in the elevator and are a bit weary of what's happening, Ladar, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Oof.
Oof.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a natural one, but it's a 10, so then it's a plus 10, and then so it's 20.
It's just
Okay. It's a 20. So it's a natural one, so it's a 20. The DC is a little bit higher, so I'll just tell you what you were able to see immediately. Something that you were focused on when you first sat down was that noble. The noble staring at Vincent has gotten up. And you can see that, two younger nobles kind of stand up, and you can hear them start saying, "Father, please sit down. Enjoy the race." As they're starting to pull him down, and you can see him just kind of shaking, and you can see shaking them off. He's not very strong, but he's kind of shaking them off. And he's trying to make his way, what you think, with his eye line, kind of following you all to the elevator. He's still a few booths down, but you can see.
Lenora starts pressing the button furiously.
Close.
Yeah, and in the current state, Vincent,
Just casually.
we kind of established that you're kind of overstimulated
Yeah, he's
by the
not
situation. You
paying
haven't
attention.
really noticed what's happening. Dresden sees you mashing this button for close, and he's like, and
Yeah, I
he
just want to close, so.
No, he's like,
I think at one point Vincent's actually like covering his ears.
Is it that there's the snag racing noises all building up in the of the
Just a little-
elevator?
yeah. Much for him.
And as the door is closing, you see a hand just shoot through the door.
Oh God.
Opens.
I'm gonna have to kill this man.
And you see a figure you weren't expecting. Not an old noble smothered in clothing with a unknown but sinister motive. You see a taller figure with a handkerchief like close to his nose and mouth, looking a bit pale in the face. He's got this like grayish green
vomit?
skin and long hair that's tied back, and his usual attire is completed with a jacket to make like a 3-piece suit with a little like gold pocket watch that's like nestled in one of the pockets. You can see the chain. But you see the very meek demeanor of Doc Barry. As you hear, sorry, I just need to get in here real quick. As he kind of, well, shoot, look who it is.
Hi, Doc. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you all too. What are you doing here?
Oh,
Vincent's got his ears covered. He's in the corner of the elevator and his eyes are like wide and he's like,
Is he all right? Are you all right, sir?
no, but I can hear you. It's fine.
Do you need some sort of,
Can we just turn
This is
this
loud.
off?
Oh, it's playing in here too.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
From behind Doc, you can hear a smaller voice kind of yell, says, "Hi, I think I can manage and figure something out." As peeking out from behind him, you see Crumbly, the general store owner from Goldstead. She currently has like a also kind of nice-ish suit kind of look on. She's dressed up a little bit for the occasion, very like Western dressed up though.
Oh, and a little
with, you know,
vest, maybe?
suspenders, a little vest, etc.
Period.
Got a cowboy hat. She's got very curly hair and darker skin. And she says, "Oh, would you look at that? Hold on, let me take care of this." And she walks up to the screen. She looks and says, it's this one. Do it." And she says, she just kind of
Vincent's got a weapon out.
twists
He's
it.
like,
Yeah,
ready to-
smashes
ready to-
it. I was like, it's an
ready.
ice stock. She just like twists it to the other side where the light isn't like looking directly at each other, and this image just kind of dissipates.
Oh, thank God.
Well, shoot. So you're the Strings of Fate, right? You're helping me out with retaking Goldstead.
Yes, yeah, that was us. Minus one. He's doing something else. It's good to see you. What are you guys doing here?
Oh, it's so great to see you all as well. We are, well, Doc can explain it best. We're on a bit of business right now. Though I fear as though this is part of that business. And Doc says, yeah, we were given these tickets by a potential associate extending a hand for aid in Goldstead. You see, we're running low on a lot of supplies, especially since Weldon, one of the nearest, trade hubs for our town, kind of went bad. I think y'all mentioned y'all were around the area. I'm glad to see you're okay.
Yeah.
But with Weldon down and with the tensions rising between Onseer and the Sovereignty right now, we can't really secure any consistent trade route. And a benefactor stepped in and offered a hand.
Who?
People running this thing, this race here.
What?
The, Merriman, I think it was.
Sorry. The merriment.
You have to say no.
You can't do that.
Okay, all right. I didn't expect all of this pushback. I've done a little bit of my homework. I have an idea that it's a little shady, but at the same time, I mean...
Trust us.
We can explain it more when we're not here. But anyways, we'll get to that in a minute. We're just we're watching the race. We have a friend who got us in, so we're in the VIP room.
Oh, that's nice and fancy. I don't know if y'all are more acquainted to this, and I was not expecting all the violence.
No, I've
I've
never seen
never
nothing
heard
like
of this before. But our friend is pretty well versed in it, I guess you could say.
But he used to do it a while ago. you know,
Yeah.
Before it was like this, apparently. He didn't even know it was like this now.
And that was same with me. I knew snag racing back in the day. I was a fan of all the snag racers. But I'd never lived here, and I only came through and saw a race whenever I was in town. So things certainly have changed since I was a youngin', And, I'm a doctor. I've done surgeries, but for some reason, all this killing for entertainment, that's not something I really can stomach.
Did you have a favorite racer?
Well, everyone did. And,
Please.
for me, it was more like a role model sort of thing. The snag races back then, you can look up to them and you could really aspire to be something or get, inspired to do something. For me, my idol was, work their way up, and, they kind of convinced me to start looking into doing medicine,
What? How do we get from point A to point B?
Interesting path.
Something about it, I didn't grow up with much, and obviously it's not easy to just work up to a place or something along those lines off of merit and things like that. But at the time there were just certain pathways that I had available to me that I wasn't taking, and when I saw that racer work from literally nothing to being the champion over everyone else.
The champion?
Was
Who is
I'm just
it?
curious. What your favorite was?
Curious, yeah.
Well, of course, it's got to be Lightning Star Song. He's a hero.
Well, of
a role
course.
model.
Of course.
Funny
that's
that you say that.
Me. Yeah. Should I look at Vincent. I'm like,
He's gonna find out eventually.
we happen to be here with Lightning Star Song.
Shut the front door. You're joking.
Let
my
Doc Barry
goodness.
say fuck.
He won't.
He won't. He just woke up.
Yeah, we're here with him.
Oh my goodness. At this point, probably when Dresden's pressed the button, the elevator's already moving. As
just so over.
yeah, Dresden's like, okay.
Who's this freak?
Oh, Dresden, this is Doc Barry.
Oh, hi. Dresden, traveling companion to the Strings of Fate. Barry says,
Vague
well,
term,
companion.
but okay.
A companion to them is a companion to me. As he kind of gives a hearty handshake and says, the Strings of Fate helped me out of a bind back when they were traveling through Goldstead, a little town out, nothing much, just a little bit of mostly cobwebs and dust bunnies and things like that. But what the fuck is the word I'm looking for? Tumbleweeds?
Dust bunny.
Nice dust bunnies. It's fucking
big
dusty
dust
over there. God damn
Fucking
it.
dust bowl.
He's talking about actual giant bunnies that are made of dust.
Wait,
Like
actually?
sentient dust bunnies.
Wait, that's a good idea.
Anyways, I'm thinking of it. Anyways, we ain't got much, but we're, they helped us out. They helped the town out, and so we're forever grateful to them.
No, yeah,
Says,
no.
"Oh, they have a history of helping people, making places better.
We certainly try
I'm
our best.
remembering why we got in trouble in that town in the first place.
Oh, whoa. Is this elevator gonna...
And he says, okay, so listen, we'll talk about this more outside. We're heading to the Witchwood Market. Why don't we share information about our mutual friend?
That would be great.
Doc's under his breath, like, Star Song? He's confused, and the elevator continues now. Cutting over. Auda and Azram, go ahead and give me give me 3 persuasion checks, deception checks, to see how well the schmoozing is going. How well this is.
I got a 19 and 2 22s.
19 and 2 22s. The schmoozing is going well. All right, so tell me kind of what's the scheme you're running? How is Auna? Auna is kind of wearing nicer clothes given to him, through shopping with Ladara. He has been kind of keeping them very clean and likes them a lot. But at the same time, if you want him to wear something else, he certainly can.
Before they started smoozing, Azram would have gone up to Auna and told him the plan.
Okay.
Listen.
Oh, okay, listening.
He shoves, because he's still in his Lightning Star Song gear.
Of course.
Yeah, you certainly are.
So he shoves his clothes balled up into Auna's hands, and he's like, go to the bathroom and put my clothes on.
What? Why?
You have to put, because the role we're gonna be going with is that we are two noble brothers, and so we are going to be matching. I'll disguise myself to wear exactly what you're wearing, but in a different color. But you can't disguise yourself, and so you need to go change.
Why can't he just stay in his own clothes?
Noble brothers wear the exact same clothes?
Yes, from our noble family, because we're twins.
Seems a bit freakish, don't you think? A little...
Auna, you
unsettling.
promised.
Okay, yes, I did. All right, I'm just gonna change.
And yeah, just be cool about it, okay? And you can drop your clothes off with DeVille. He's holding all of our stuff.
I'm gonna put them away nicely, give them to DeVille. So I really don't want to get these dirty or messed up. Okay, I'll be back.
Okay.
Time passes, he returns. He's wearing your outfit, and he is very uncomfortable. His whole thighs are out, and his arms.
Oh,
Azram would go up and tossle his hair and make it look a little more stylish.
You see him pulling, or just kind of adjusting the clothes that he's wearing, and he's just so can feel more in tune with the wind than usual. He says as he's kind of smoothing things out.
Yeah, doesn't it just feel freeing?
I mean, in a way, yes, but also I'm just a lot of skin being exposed, apparently.
It's okay.
How it looks and says, okay, let's go with the plan then.
Okay. By the time he had gotten back, Azram would have disguised himself to be wearing the same thing, but it's in a dark blue.
Okay, gotcha. So you're, matching in a cool way, even though, two grown men picking up wearing matching clothes, being we're twins.
Azram thinks it's the best idea.
Your roles determine how well the schmoozing goes, and the schmoozing goes very well. You are, getting free drinks left and right. You're gaining information. I'll let you, as a player, ask me 2 questions about the world, and about news, about something, and I will answer them as truthfully as I think these characters would. I won't lie to you. You can ask me 2 questions.
I would try to get any information about what the public opinion of Weldon was.
It does depend on who you ask, but you get a good sample size of people. People who are from Onseer are immediately on the backs of it was witches. It was so witches. The wizards and witches all coming together. I don't know. Listen, they don't put it out in the official, newspapers. They just have to speculate, that sort of thing. But everyone knows that it's just another ploy by the sovereignty to further distance themselves from Onseer. And you get those kind of things when you talk about Weldon. If they're Onseerian or Varen, they're the sovereignty is ramping up aggression against Onseerians because they want to return to a point in which Onseer has nothing to do with the sovereignty, because it right now has a lot to do with the sovereignty. And if you talk to someone from the sovereignty, they're I don't know. I think it was probably somebody who had something out against Weldon, or I don't know, some kind of dark magic, but certainly there's no way that it would be anyone from the sovereignty. The only person that has gravely ulterior motives that nobody really trusts is Lord Neverember, basically. is the people always bring up his name and are if it's anybody that did something, it's that motherfucker.
You're so right.
Actually, I was yeah, fuck that guy.
Second question.
It was totally him.
I kind of want to ask I either want to ask, like, why are you all here? Like, try to get, like, a vibe on, like, why they felt the need to come to, like, the VIP of a snag race. Or I wanted to see, like, I was going to ask, like, their opinion of, like, the ferryman. Being like, that motherfucker.
Okay, with your deception checks, you ask people, I guess, why they're here, and they're trying to figure out their motives for being here. And the answers are a lot like, we're blowing off steam, we're on vacation, we're betting on this race. They put big money on this race. And you find out that people don't bet on just the winners. They bet on who dies and who kills in this race. They are a bit cruel in how they're handling it, a bit callous in how they talk about it. They laugh, and that's why people are more frustrated when someone gets cut down on the screen. Let me think if there's any other interesting bits of information. You hear somebody you go to this table that Alan is a bit like shifty about, but kind of just his eyes kind of are darting back and forth. And you see these two sort of noble young men. You choose them for a little bit and talk to them. They buy you a drink, and then they start talking. They're fairly close to your table, and DeVille's just kind of like eyes darting from the screen to you guys, darting screen to you guys. At some point, you see one of the nobles like puts his arm around you, and you see DeVille just kind of like grip the tankard as he kind of eats the slime and tries not to make eye contact. And you see like, we are just trying to get our father. He's seen better days, and we thought with this invitation from the ferryman, why not take it? He seems stressed in recent decade. And the other brother kind of laughs and says, you can say that again. Yes, our father has been quite unhappy for quite some time, but we thought maybe it could be a time for him to unwind. It looks as though it's not happening. As you can see, there's like an empty space between them where he's not there. Do you want to say anything or ask anything?
I was gonna ask, like, what's got him so pent up?
Oh, well, not quite sure. He's always on about something, and in his old age, he's getting a bit adult. Maybe it's the business is not going well. Mines in the east aren't bringing in as many jewels, and less jewels and gems means less jewelry. It's all very...
Is he a jeweler?
Yes, a collector, a jeweler. He's something of those sorts. He had a quite a good prime back in the day, but recently, most of our business deals somewhere else, transitioning those mines, my brother and I, of course, for this brilliant idea, you can thank us, transitioning those mines to supplying the Varen army instead and making weapons. It turns out we've got quite a couple bits of strategical resources down there. So we're still afloat, thanks to us, which, of course, our father takes close to heart. Old pride, as it were.
So does that mean you can't get me jewelry?
I can if you'd like. And DeVille just like, he like chokes, he's like choking outside, like,
I didn't take DeVille as the jealous type.
what a race.
He says to no one.
He says to no one sitting next to him.
Chester's there, he's like, he gets scared. He's like, oh, okay, yeah.
That's a good race.
Pretty good, buddy. Starts putting on the drinks. Okay.
I think I should be going.
And they did no please, and then
No, please.
they do a little back and
That's what
forth, and
breaks the
DeVille
heart.
just kind of is just like, I'm trying to listen here. My goodness, so much chatter. And they kind of shoot him a look, and he said, looks down, and just actually he doesn't look down. He looks back, and he just kind of nods and sips his drink. Looks towards you all. Is you awake? Even though he's a little beet red. You two are, making your way around trying to find your next mark. You found a good amount of information, but, Auna hasn't gotten much practice in terms of talking. He seems more like a disgruntled bodyguard than a noble brother. And
He's doing his best.
you make your way around, and you hear a table just like buzzing with laughter. And you can hear someone just like joking, like at the, you see, and that's when I told him. And let me tell you, of course, I didn't want to be of help, but my friends, you see, they pull me into things, right? And you have to be the good guy sometimes. As you hear a very familiar voice from a booth. You sigh deeply as you hear the kind of cutting, overly confident voice of a certain drow captain sat in a booth surrounded by conversationalists, hostesses and hosts that are all, fawning over him as he is sat there. There's an empty space there at the table as you approach, and as you lock eyes with him, he locks eyes with you, and his face just kind of drops. He says, anyways, but, being a hero isn't easy. But I don't have to talk about that. I mean, all of you, surely and he's kind of just like trying to look away from you and not make eye contact with you as you are passing by him. What do you do?
Azrim would like walk, stop in front of his table, look at him.
Yes, garçon, can we get a couple more drinks for the lovely people here? And one of the hostesses is like, I don't think he works here. Like, because we work here. And looks down and is like, oh, that's right.
Huh.
Can I help you?
What are you doing here?
My lovely companions, if you could give me a few moments. This is an associate of mine that I'd like to talk business with. Please, please. And they sort of go like, oh, and then they all kind of scoot out of the booth and leaving him with, the fantasy equivalent of, I don't know, a Long Island iced tea or something. Sitting there with like a little crazy straw and a little umbrella in it. And he says, so, to what do I owe the pleasure?
You're not even in disguise.
I don't need to be. It's the Witchwood Market. It's open for business. It's a haven for illegal activities. My very existence is illegal. I thrive here. A fish in water, if you will.
What are you doing here?
Let's take a seat. I'm here on business, believe it or not. Okay? Auna looks and says,
Subman.
Yeah, subby guy. And he says, subby, what? It's not important. Take a seat. Let's talk. I'm sure that this unfortunate meeting of us is fate's sick way of making sure I don't get what I want. Is that right?
Well, it depends. What do you want?
Like the same thing I was looking for. How have you forgotten? We made such a big deal of the stone. I'm not gonna get mad. I'm not gonna get mad. I'm having a good day. I'm on vacation. I'm invited. I'm a VIP here.
I'm a VIP too.
How? Who are you pretending to be?
I'm not pretending to be anyone.
What do you mean? How did you get tickets to this?
I know people.
Do you even know the history behind snag racing?
Do I know the history behind snag racing? No, I don't. I really don't.
Well, because I was there at the inception of snag racing.
Oh, did you fucking pick up the snail and ride it yourself?
All right, I'm not going to go into history. I appreciate the sport. I was here at its inception. I watched snag champions be made in this Coliseum, and yes, it's become a bit gauche, a bit macabre in its recent evolutions, but, well, that's show business. He kind of smiles as he leans back and he sips his tea.
I happen to know an old champion.
All right, yes. Which one? You're like what, 20? When did you see this champion? When you were in diapers?
Oh, damn.
I don't know, who was your favorite?
Actually, I don't think you would.
Do you have a favorite?
Everyone's favorite is DeVille.
I don't pick favorites. Okay, I'm not a major enthusiast. I mostly come for the atmosphere. I'm just saying that I used to frequent this place a lot. I don't know it like that.
Well, I do, and that's how I got VIP tickets, so...
Okay, well, allow me to add this to my journal of things I've learned against my will about the strings of fate.
And allow me to add this encounter to times that I ran into you and you were the last person I wanted to see.
Quite the wit. Ezra, quite the wit. I'm just waiting for an associate. Is all.
What associate?
I'm sure you know them quite well. And they kind of smile as you hear just like that from the front of the table as another figure has walked up.
What?
You see standing there in a sort of long, very royal looking coat with tan skin and beautiful blonde hair that kind of frames their very perfect features. The insignia of the Walshes on your side. A glance towards you with a smirk of recognition from Finnegan Walsh. Well, isn't this a surprise? Yes, Jarlax will speak up. Yes, Azram, that's right. I am here to talk about the stone. But I may have fibbed a little bit, and I've had fun, kind of playing along. The voice suddenly shifts. But why don't we talk about business?
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Now that my loyal companion is here, and one of my beloved underlings. A sickening voice. Using Jarlaxle's face.
Damn.
That's where we'll take a break. Hey there, gamers. If you're wondering why I'm so tired, I made a little bit of a mistake. You see, recently, well, maybe not recently because I can't really tell much time down here, I took a detour in my own apartment and went through a door, down some stairs, and I've been walking down these stairs for a very long time. And when I turn around to go back up the stairs, there's no door. So, the only way is down, or I'm trapped. Something along those lines. Thankfully, there is food and drink at these nice little candlelit food and drink stations. That is every couple of flights. So at least I'm not gonna starve or die of thirst. Anyways, I'm glad I had the foresight, though, to bring my recording equipment down here, because I still need to record the break, despite being lost in what looks to be a small demi-plane. But that's okay.
First of all, this show is sponsored by Dungeon Devs. Don't know what that was, but Dungeon Devs is helping us to host a giveaway of a snag racing themed snail tray on our social media. So go ahead and check out our social media to see if you won the giveaway. If you don't already know, Dungeon Devs is your one-stop shop for quality gaming supplies with character. You can go check them out at shopdungeondevs.com for... I'm just gonna keep going with it. Dice trays, apparel, softpod merch, you name it. And you can use code SOFTPOD at checkout for 10% off. That's SOFPOD. So thank you. Dungeon Devs. This show is also sponsored by you, the viewer. Right now I'm going to read out some names from the Honorary Bard patrons. These are patrons that support us at the $10 tier, and currently we are working on a lot of Patreon content as a bonus for our Patreon subscribers. But thank you so much for financially supporting the show. Thank you to Camila Flores, Anna, Starry Spells, Elliot C, Katie Seitz, Roanoke, Faye, and Isella. Thanks so much for supporting the show. If you don't already know, we have a community Discord server, the Softcord. Doing for that too, huh? The live watch happens along with the episode on YouTube and on Spotify and all the other podcast platforms, and it's super fun, so come join us. We have a really great community, and we are very, very proud of it. We are also still working on art reel issues. We really want to get the art reel back and running, but that's going to take a little bit of time, so please bear with us in the moment. If you like the show, please tweet about the show using hashtag SoftPod. It helps get the name of the show out there, and that hashtag has really grown over time. It's kind of very fun to see. I also pull a lot of names from hashtag SoftPod for places and people in my setting. So please, come on, I insist. Anyways, that is about it. There's certainly no way up, and down just seems to be an endless trek. But I am not a quitter, and I have Wi-Fi. So let's keep going down. I'll hopefully see you all again next week. Bye-bye. You watch as Finnegan Walsh kind of slides into the booth. The Finnegan Walsh that knows you.
Great.
Well. And Jarl Axel, or this person who looks like Jarl Axel, with a familiar voice to you, and one that would be very familiar to Ladara.
Fuck.
Kind of. Posture shifts, becomes a bit less charismatic and a bit more imposing, a bit more sinister. Now, Azram, firstly, you see them sort of raise their hand and just kind of draw a rune, and you watch this sort of sickly green energy just shoot through the immediate surroundings, and you feel this feeling like a kind of similar to the sanctum, except it's a little more unsettling than that. You can see from the inside, just very perceptibly. No one else from around you sees to notice as you can look through this kind of translucent barrier, but the walls of this sanctum blink and smile, stare down as shifting
Disgusting.
eyes and mouths just kind of only barely visible. There we are, much more comfortable. Auna kind of holds on to the quarterstaff and is looking at you as he's like kind of rising.
I'm gonna sit.
Yes, I think that would be quite smart. As Auda slowly sits back down. I grow tired of this one's visage. You see him just wipe across his face as if pulling it off like a mask. You see the drow visage suddenly turn to this gray, pale skin. These heavy bags under the eyes. These sort of... what's the word?
Hollow cheekbones.
Oh, yeah. These hollow cheekbones and sort of thin frame with arms and hands that show every vein. The long, dark hair of Gary Glanstone.
Now, what do I owe the pleasure?
Yes. I thought that you all may be here. I could feel the paths rearranging to bring you here.
Don't you always know where I am?
Well, yes. And the hand looks and says, I'm sorry to catch you off guard at this event, as we do not arrive. It may surprise you, as enemies of this time.
Enemies? Never thought that.
Of
I
course.
am a part of Invictus after all.
Ah, yes. Now you're getting it. Very good, Ezra. We're here to impart information. And, yes, part of that information is one that interests your very flippant and stubborn friend, Captain Bonwy. But most of it may be helpful for you to know in the coming race. You are the main event, correct? Helping Mr. Starsong, or should I say, helping Miss Mormare and her friends.
You guys really do just know everything.
It is how we keep the advantage. Yes. How are they? Miss Mormare, Dresden, Mr. Starsong. I hope he holds no grudge for my turning of coats.
I don't know why you're bothering asking.
Yes, I'm afraid I know the answer to at least, well, I suppose all of those questions. But it is human nature to want to be liked.
So what do you want?
To help you. You can believe anything I say, or you can choose not to believe anything I say here, but I'm going to impart the information on you. First of all, you can stop looking for the stone. I have it.
Of course. Of course he does.
I paid a visit to your barkeep friend, and unfortunately he doesn't remember anything of my particular house call, as it were. But through some moderate pain and probing,
Oh my god.
he divulged the location of the stone to us and is completely unaware of any of the events, so you don't have to worry. He'll simply carry a few extra scars than he had before.
I'm gonna fucking kill you, touch, darn it! You piece of shit!
So, I wanted to lay that mystery to rest for you. The stone lies with me, and I am not finished using it yet, though it serves me well in my current purposes.
Your current purposes
Yes.
involving.
Well, you see, Mr. Neverember, Lord Neverember, is quite small-minded, using such a magnificent and knowledgeable creature as a key. To what? His own personal fund of embezzled wealth? How very boring. I digress. It lies in my possession, and I am sure that Mr. Bonnery will come looking for it at some point. If you run into him, I'd suggest you tell him to stop. Because I have my doubts as to whether or not he can face us. And I'd really rather not shed any more blood.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really care what happens to him.
Of course. Of course. Secondly, regarding your plan,
Which one? I have a few.
the hand speaks up and says, your plan to win the race tomorrow in exchange for a favor from the ferryman.
What about it?
It's set to fail. It is known to your enemies. They seek to sabotage you in the race tomorrow to make sure that you do not leave alive. They seek to use your deaths to torment Miss Mormare's friends, to intimidate them into servitude. For what brings more despondence and despair than watching the only hope of survival snuffed out? Eric says, yes, it's quite unfortunate. There is not many paths forward for you and your team. You winning the race, with their interference, the chances are next to none. And you dropping out of the race will simply bring merriment assassins to your doorstep. Quite unfortunate.
How do you know all this? Do you know the ferryman or something? You his little lapdog?
Certain merriment members have made similar deals with me that you have. It allows me to keep tabs on certain places I'm not supposed to see.
You must really enjoy the show, huh?
I adore it. But I digress. I'm not here to simply tell you of your death and watch you squirm in terms of trying to figure out a way to avoid it. I'm here to offer a solution.
You're so generous.
I know. Auda looks, says, who are these? Azram, how do you... How do they know Ladara? He doesn't know.
It's better that we talk about it later.
Maybe so. I don't know if he could contain himself if I told him the gritty details.
Oh, you're lucky that I can contain myself right now.
I know. Auda eyes are just like twitching as he looks and is just holding, taking your lead on things. You see, though we may have been enemies in the past, today I'd like to propose we be allies. We share a common enemy. The ferryman is a figure that poses quite an obstacle for both of us.
So you want to take him down?
I'd like to take them down, yes. And through my various consultations, calculations, it is not by my hand that they will fall, but by one of yours.
Doing the dirty work.
So that's what you want from us?
Yes. I want you to succeed. I want you to survive. You still have a part to play in the symphony, after all. For it to be prematurely cut. Well, no, that wouldn't do it all.
You said it yourself. We're doomed for failure tomorrow, so I guess we can't help.
Not necessarily. The hand speaks up. There lies a place into the Witchwood Forest, that holds a tool that will help you break the odds against you, as well as more information on the ferrymen and their true identity. Perhaps you can circumvent a worser fate by figuring that out before it's too late.
Do you know who the ferryman is?
Of course.
Why don't you just tell me?
Well,
Thought we were allies.
as much as I would like to, if I were to tell you now, your chances of success would drop to 0. You would have no chance of winning against the ferryman with that information unless you go through the motions of finding it yourself.
That doesn't make any fucking sense, but okay.
But I can give you a hint. You've already met them.
That's new information.
Now, I believe I am quite finished. Hand in part for them, my gift. The hand, they kind of nod. Finnegan's face, emotionless, looking at you. This might sting. You feel your heart start beating in your chest harder than it ever has. Just kind of as if it's trying to escape your rib cage. You feel your head start to throb as suddenly there is blood coursing through your body. And for you, this is the first time that you look down at your exposed arm and see freeing themselves of any clothing or wraps that you have there. Multicolored, bloodshot eyes that all open at once and stare into yours. And you see images upon images poured into your mind of a circus tent, of directions and waypoints of how to get there, not too far, just halfway down the path to get to the Coliseum, then cutting into the forest. And in that circus tent, you see a massive form blocking your path. A beast of some kind, snarling and angry, as suddenly you're back at the booth. The hand just kind of hooks their head and smiles as they say, Master, it is time for you to redon your disguise. We must be going if we are to make our next appointment. And Garrick looks at us. Quite right. You see the Jarlaxle disguise come back up. You see the sanctum drop. You see them both slowly get up and begin to make their way out. Garrick stops. One last thing. They reach into their coat. You see the hand of Jarlaxle disappear underneath the illusion and pull a wrapped bundle of some size and sort of lay it down on the table. A gift, motivation, if you will. You see, I've quite missed the pursuit. I feel as though Miss Mormere may be losing sight of that which could drive her to newer heights. A certain anger that made her who she is today. And I feel as though this could help respark that. Something I found among the rubble. I'm sure that this was meant for her anyways, so just think of it as me carrying out her mother's last bidding.
I'm gonna kill him.
He smiles as Auna in that moment just kind of stands and puts the staff to Eric's throat. And everyone around you is like silence for a moment as Auna stands. Say the word.
No.
You better listen to her, boy.
Don't talk to him like that.
Same fire, same storm. You feel a cold wind wash over you both. As we cut down to the Witchwood Market.
Oh, great. Ooh.
To kind of expedite the process a little bit here, we assume that you're mostly telling Doc Barry about the things that you've experienced with the merriment, your experiences with your friends, trying to keep your voice low. And, Dresden helps by talking loudly with Crumbly while you are explaining to Doc Barry all of this stuff to kind of drown out the noise between these conversations. And you learn a couple key things that Goldstead is doing better, but, their supplies have been dwindling, that they need more weapons especially, and apparently that the merriment is a massive, source for weapons for people, as well as being, part of Lunastra. They also seem to have some kind of weapon trade and have offered weapons to protect themselves, to protect Goldstead from the O'Donegan's. Speaking of the O'Donegan's, you also learn that Bonnie has been through town recently with a new companion by her side. They have gotten into a few scrapes together. It seems to be some water genasi that she had met in travels that Doc is met before.
That's quirky.
But that they are heading towards a town controlled by O'Donegan himself in order to confront him in the near future. And as that conversation kind of winds down and Doc is thinking to himself, he says, okay, you've given me a lot to chew on, but Goldstead needs supplies. It needs weapons to protect itself. It needs medicine to keep the folks safe. I mean, we're building it into some place these folks can live. We need help, and the merriment has been the only force that has offered any help to us. The only term being that I would serve for a few years as a doctor for the merriment.
No, you don't
can't
want
do
you
that.
don't want help from these people.
The thing is that if you get involved with the merriment, you may never be able to get out. And all that we ask is that you try and hold off and try to find other options, because I don't want to see what happened to my friends happen to any of you. And I don't know the extent of what they can do to a whole town, but just please keep it in mind.
You're mighty kind to a strange old doc like me. But I'll keep it in mind. I still have a couple days of negotiations left with them. This offering of a ticket to the snag racing finale was not as nice as I had wanted it to be. And so that's put a bit of a damper on my view of them. I didn't, to be honest, didn't know too much. Tried to keep myself out of knowing of the other shadier things they did, but I guess I can't ignore that one, thinking about the safety of my town. I'll think about it. Why don't we pick a load off? Witchwood Market.
All right.
You make your way down the stalls, making your way, looking at the various things. You kind of have to duck your head when you pass by Monty's maniacal magics, as Monty is it seems to be in a bit of a bad mood for some reason.
Don't look at me. Just passing by.
Nearby, you see what looks to be a tent that is reminiscent of like beast hide and such. Though there's like a sign that says like not real beast hide, just nice magical illusion beast hide, faux beast hide. And it looks to kind of replicate the hide of a beast. It kind of changes every couple of minutes to like a different kind of hide. And there's like a much wider space in there. And you can see that kind of in a cage on the counter of this establishment, there's a little sign in front of it. It says, looking to go to a surrendered and looking to go to a good home. There's a small little, really tiny black cat there. Black cat with these 3 little tendrils for instead of 1 tail, it's got 3, and just kind of like hopping onto cat. And like gnawing and purring on a piece of raw meat.
Stop it.
As you all see this little familiar tent.
Oh my
basically.
god. Oh my god.
Vidara gravitates towards the cat.
It kind of is purring and eating this meat, and then it kind of stops for a second to look at you, and it actually stops eating. It just kind of stands up and then does little circles, and then puts its paw up against the cage. See the little claws going.
She'll kind of like try to stick her hand through and like pet him a little bit.
It's literally so like clingy to you, because immediately as soon as you put your fingers through, it just kind of like rubs its head up against and still purring. And you hear this voice go, like what you see, as you hear this booming voice that catches you off guard. Make a history check.
Oh no, I don't like that.
History, yeah,
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I want to be blissfully ignorant.
Blissfully unaware.
What was it? What did you say?
History.
Oh, history.
History or insight. Sure.
Oh, my insight's way better than my history, I'm sure.
Sure.
20.
20. You kind of freeze for a moment because this booming voice is surprisingly, there's a lot of NPCs this episode. The voice of
Oh god, who is this gonna be?
the voice that yelled after you had stolen something from him. Notably a doctor's bag.
Oh my god.
You see like a beefy arm, a gray arm with like white short hair. This man is like 8 feet tall.
Oh my
kind
god.
of like he has crouched down a little bit.
Yo.
And he's looking.
Wait, Christian, is he hot?
Oh my
I rolled this before actually. He's hot. I rolled it when he first created this character.
Oh, wow.
And just to be sure. 19!
Oh, he's still hot. He's still got it. Still got it all the way from.
You see, he's got like a
50 episodes ago.
short sleeve T-shirt on, and like an apron that has like a little like owl bear mascot on it. And he says, "Yeah, it's a shame, but we sent her out to be adopted, and owner found out he couldn't take care of her and brought her right back. It's heartbreaking, honestly, because they get so attached. They're looking for their owners and." Nowhere to be found because they made a decision they couldn't keep to. Sorry, Dimitri. I'm a representative of the school. Excuse me.
It's lovely to meet you. She
Vincent wouldn't notice, right? Vincent probably wouldn't catch it.
I don't think that. I don't know. I mean,
he probably didn't hear much of him screaming after.
she definitely did. Definitely
So
did.
Vincent's like, what's up? What's going on?
Nice to meet you.
It's quite nice to meet you as well. Welcome to Familiar Fauna. It is your one-stop shop for your forever friends, as it were. Right now, this one we've got, looking for a good home if you're willing to give her one. I know it's a big decision and you might want to take some time to think about it. But
I'll take it.
Do
it. Vincent's over her shoulder.
Oh, and
he's like
Dresden's like-
staring at the cat with
Dresden's
hard
like-
eyes.
Yeah, you should.
Ladara's kind of like, her eyes just kind of stay on the cat. It's just kind of like her hand still like out and like, you know, petting her.
It's just so sad to think about being surrendered. I'm so I usually I'd be a little bit more reasonable about this, but there's no other option. And oh my goodness! All right then. Okay, are you sure? Because if
How
you bring her
much?
back, it's going to be very sad
I
for
will
us.
not
We will
bring her
take
back.
her back.
I will not.
Okay, good, because no other place will take her back on the surface, because this is
Why?
it's highly illegal to own one of these creatures. It's not just regular cats, it's displacer beast kin. And they're quite loyal.
A what?
Displacer beast kid.
Displacer beast?
Yeah.
What does that mean? What is that?
Well, you see, they are from a number of places. You know, some of the jungles out east, and sometimes from, you know, rumored to be from the Feywild
Is
themselves.
this like unethical for the
No,
cats?
no. We do rescues here, mostly.
Right.
We rescued a litter of displacer beasts that were being raised to be guards of a dungeon and you know, to consume people that were, you know, intruders to dungeons and stuff. And to be honest, human flesh to a displacer beast is just not healthy for them.
No.
It's a bit,
God.
it's just not good for their digestive systems, and you know, a dungeon isn't where they should be. They should be in open air and things like that. So, you know, Familiar Fauna seeks to rescue these creatures and then, you know, give them loving homes. You know, we try to releasing them can be difficult sometimes, because if they it's how far they take them, I suppose.
Do I know about this creature? Have I heard about a
Make an animal
displacer
handling check
beast?
or a nature check.
Good at that. 17.
You've heard of them. They are natural to the kind of eastern coast of Afra, and they are rumored in fairy tale to have come from the Feywild. But, you know, that is
Ayo.
just, you know, based off of some connections with creatures that have been seen by expedition teams into the Feywild that you would have read about. You know that they are predators and that they hunt at night. They're nocturnal mostly. And they have a peculiar quirk, which you notice that as soon as Dresden kind of leans towards it, it kind of gets a bit skittish and just disappears.
Oh, that's blink cat.
Yeah, you see it just kind of disappear for a moment and then appear, and there's like this after image of like a couple of them, like 3 displacer beasts on your like in the cage, just like it's kind of hard to get a handle on where the real one is until it just comes back together into the real one. It's just kind of like
Intriguing.
That's incredible.
yes. So give me a moment here, all right? Let me get the paperwork, and you know, we'll walk through the rest of this. You know, you go through, you pay a small fee.
I ask about how how they can be trained with other animals that are small and tiny.
Yeah, he would mention to you that as long as they're raised from a young age to identify the animal as some kind of friend,
Good.
they're
Perfect.
quite good at that. And this will help with that. He pulls out like a spray bottle and says, "This is going to last you. You only have to spray it every week or so once on you and you know, any small animals in your party. It basically allows them to attach, to get to know you, to contains pheromones from the mother, basically. It allows them to form a bond. All right, and you know, they live on a diet of raw meat. All right, so keep them on that diet. They get a lot of hydration from that.
Okay.
Open spaces. He goes through the whole thing. Says, "Thought of a name for this little one?" Kind of muse up at you.
I don't know.
It'll come to you.
I'm gonna have to think of that.
Take all the time you need. But the one, it looks like we found you a home.
Oh,
Here we are.
baby.
Looks over at the papers. Dora. It's a good name.
She's like, oh, it was so nice to meet you. We're gonna head out.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Oh, it was a lovely day. Have a lovely day. Everyone, let's go.
What is this?
And we all just, I'm like,
We're
push them
walking
out.
out.
Got hands.
You're pushing him. Vincent's looking at like the toys for like the Ferris. He's like, what?
Come on,
What is it?
Vincent. Come on. I'll explain in a moment.
Your little displaced beast rests on your shoulder. He explains that she has an enchantment on her that allows you to cast and put her away into a kind of demi-plane that is suited to an environment, and then bring her back out, kind of like Find Familiar, basically. So you can treat this as if you have Find Familiar at will, and when she's in danger, she'll automatically poof back there.
Well, for now, she's on my shoulder.
And he's got his hands on his hip. He's like, she's familiar. Huh. And Doc, who's completely oblivious, even though this person robbed him, took his bag. Doc is like, he seemed nice.
I stole your bag from that man.
Huh?
That is who I stole. Yeah, we should go. We should.
And you
go
start to
before
notice
he
that kind of
realizes.
creeping up the shoulder and stuff, where some of the scarring and burns from when you blew him up with dynamite.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I definitely caused those scars on his face.
Well, I'm
actually
glad
go
he didn't recognize me.
Yeah,
let's go and never
Should
come
have been on
back.
higher alert. Doc and Crumbly, as you're kind of walking and making your way through, take a moment and say, and kind of looks up at his pocket watch and says, shoot. Listen, I gotta get back to my seat. At some point, I'm supposed to be meeting with the Herman again and figuring things out there.
all
But
right.
I will take into consideration what you said, and I will approach the rest of the negotiations with care.
Please
Right.
be careful with them and with talking about anything. They have eyes and ears kind of everywhere, so just be safe.
Oh, yeah, don't worry, we'll be safe. But I will say that I am quite handy with sword, and when I got one off Theo Donikins and sort of pulls from her
Jesus.
shirt up the piece of the revolver the second time. And then,
Why does everybody have
And-
these?
Put it away.
But, oh gosh,
it's all
you
right.
don't-
They're
please
used to
don't
them here.
use that.
She actually probably have like a holster. It's got hiding in the coat. Crumbly looks on and says, I'll keep him safe. I've got a lot more fire in me than I might look, but like I said, we're gonna try not to start anything. And Doc kind of gives you a bow and says, let's meet up later after this. Why don't we have another talk and catch up a little bit?
Sure, of course.
Yes.
Quick little insight check on Doc Berry because I haven't done it this whole goddamn time.
Give
and I
it
don't
an
know
insight
why.
check. What if that's
Oh,
not
what?
even Doc?
Hit one for the road.
That'd be wild.
That would be wild, Christian. That would be wild, but not too far off.
26.
26.
Oh no.
This whole time, what have I been picking up from Doc Berry while we've been talking to him, walking with him?
Like the
Doc
boss.
Berry has a lot on his mind. And he's kind of told you some of his goals and that, they need a doctor and they need him to be a doctor. But he didn't really expound on that. And you can see that there's a part of the every gear is turning right now in terms of pros and cons. And there's one more kind of deciding factor that he hasn't talked about yet that you can kind of assess. And it's coming from this kind of, from what you can tell, this like worry. It's like very humanitarian worry as a doctor that, to give you a little bit more, that there is an altruistic reason as to why he wants to help the Merriman.
Interesting.
He it's not just to benefit Goldstead. There's something that he believes that he believes that he may be the only one who can help them with something.
Interesting. Has he did he lead on about
He
that?
basically kind of leads on some bits here and there. That's kind of why I'm giving you this information. So
Yeah.
we kind of cut through that conversation a bit. He leads on that they're facing problems and they're really in need of a doctor with my expertise, but it has a lot more weight in his mind than he lets on.
Interesting.
But Doc gives you all a bow and says we'll meet up again later. Then kind of gives a smile and wave as he says, let's just hang out outside until they call us up to Crumbly. And says, "Aye, that's fine, Doc. Let me get you some lemongrass." And makes
Lemongrass.
way around. As they make their way back to the Coliseum. Dresden kind of, puts his finger towards the little cat on your shoulder and says, "You're very cute together." He's like absent-mindedly says it.
What an interesting choice of words you just said.
What?
Thank you.
Oh, no. Well, it's cute. What? You can call your friends cute.
It's very flattering. Thank you.
Huh.
He gives a little knowing smile.
Okay.
Anyways, so besides that, is there anything you want to see,
yeah.
Dresden, besides my appearance?
Okay. All right, I see what's happening here. All right, you're not going to get the better of me like that. All right, it's just
Should
an
I
expression.
give you some privacy?
No.
No, you don't have to.
Gosh, absolutely.
There's
not.
nothing to give privacy about.
Absolutely not. I said absolutely not.
Oh my god.
Damn. She does not want to be alone with you.
Dresden's like,
Not that. Oh, can we just please move
Sorry,
on?
this is the most
Let's
fun I've had all
refocus.
day, so apologies.
let's just. It's been a while at this point. Let's start making our way back.
Oh,
Deville said not to go far.
Is there something you want to see?
I'm debating because there's something I want to buy, but I'll just disguise myself. It's fine.
Okay,
Do what you need to do. Don't get in trouble.
Oh no, I won't. I'm not Azram. I'll go find a stall and I don't know. I'll just disguise myself and I'll head over to Monty's.
Welcome to Monty's Maniacal Magics, where you can find the most forbidden magic in all the realm. Magic, this isn't your parents' magic.
All right, I'm
that's
just here
for
for basic find familiar scrolls if you've got them.
Well, first of all, I was doing a whole thing.
I
There's a
don't
flow
have time.
to it. Okay, well, I stand at a stall for hours, and this is my only joy. But whatever. Did you say find familiar?
Yes.
What? You're at Monty's Maniacal Magics in an illegal underground market.
Do you,
You
want
realize that,
my
right?
gold? I'm not.
I mean, yes, but
Then I suggest you don't ask questions.
okay. And Monty kind of turns around and says, "Let me find my find familiar scrolls. Oh, look at all this dust, because forbidden magics. Yes, most people don't go for the fun. Let's have a pet magic, and sort of collects like 4 of them. Is this what you want?
Yes, put it in a bag, and I will take
Five
it.
gold.
All right.
Can I throw in at least a wild magic potion? You see that there's like a net of them.
Why
kinda
would I
dangling.
need a wild magic potion?
Because they're my special invention, and they're maniacal and magical, and they are cool to me. They do a number of different effects.
They are cool to me.
So can you, I have a reputation to uphold, and I really have only sold find familiar scrolls to you today.
I'm not paying for.
I'll throw one in. I'll throw 2 in at this point. All right, just it's maniacal. It's forbidden. It's extremely dangerous.
Have
and
you
it
used them before?
Yes, of course I've used them. You can drink them, or you can throw them on the ground and sprout magic from another realm. Uncontrollable ether. The power of Arkan refined to the point that it sprouts magic beyond your wildest beliefs. Does that not interest you? Does it not? Really? It's doing nothing for you? Nothing?
You are a strange little man.
Take the damn potions.
All right, fine.
Kind of puts them in your bag. Says, okay, have a maniacal day.
Right.
Crickets.
What? Tomato.
Yeah.
Tomato.
I'm
Oh, my
casting power word return
What?
to my. Just go, get out of here. All right.
Don't cast at me.
Just
Anyway, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave,
Oh,
and I'm gonna walk
jeez.
out, and I'm gonna
you.
undisguise myself.
You're making your way back to Lintara, and you're making your way back to Dresden, and there's a little ding in your head. A connection made from a sending stone far off in the temple of the Fractured Mother. Hi. They gave me your messages that you can come visit. I know you're out on the town, but maybe pick me something up and see me. Renee's voice is a little weak and a little very silent, but very overflowing with care and desire to see you.
Dare I say longing?
Dare I say longing? Yes, those are the words.
Longing, pining.
Pining is the right one. That's the right word.
Oh, my sweet man.
You see next to Monty's the little flower stand that was set up for the Cyclops, who came down and was buying flowers for his significant other. Ladar and Dresden, you watch Vincent kind of stop halfway in his tracks. What do you do?
He stops when he gets the message, and his eyes are sort of starting to water.
Are you
His
all
whole
right?
demeanor changes. Renee's awake. He's awake.
Right now? How did you know that?
He just messaged me. He just sent me a message.
Oh.
He's all right. Can I respond to the message?
Yeah, you can respond.
Okay. He kind of wastes the first few words, and he's like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad that you're awake. We're all together. We're out right now. As soon as I'm able, I will come see you. I already got you something. I hope you like it. I'll see you soon."
It's a response, but you feel the message received. And a warmth sort of rises in your chest. What are you doing, Vincent?
How long is this goddamn race?
It is a couple hours. It's a long race.
Okay. Okay. He's awake. He's fine.
See, everything's gonna be all right.
I'm so worried. He wanted me to get him something. And I mean, I got him the shirt, but I feel like I could probably get him something better, right?
Probably something nicer, yeah.
I mean, I think he'd like it, but yeah. And he looks over towards the flower cart, the flower stand.
You can see that blooming there are a variety of flowers you've never seen. Crystalline flowers that twinkle in the light, in the lantern lights there. You see beautiful expanding petals that look as though they were touched by rainbow, and prismatic light just shines off of them. You can see there's a little special right now. They're actually giving out these, they call them noise stoppers. They're like headphones that have little pedals.
Perfect.
They're flowers that look like headphones. You clamp them on your ears, and they apparently block out like a lot of noise.
Oh my
and
God.
Kind of give you. They're giving them out for free right now. So
No way.
Yeah, they're just kind of handing them out. So
Wow.
you actually can all get a pair
Oh, shit,
for
cool.
everyone if you'd like. You're given all these little headphones by this very sweet looking like fauna person. They have like deer legs and a green apron on. She's very attentive as you're all looking through the beautiful glimmering flowers, trying to find the right one to convey a well of emotion.
I was looking at these before, when we were here earlier. I wanted to get them for him, but didn't have the time. But
They're so beautiful.
I want the rainbow ones. Gay! Whee!
Yay!
Ladara, you are with Vincent as he's there.
Looking at flowers.
And you see that as he goes for the rainbow flowers, there's another sort of hand that's kind of reaching out towards it. And Vincent's kind of cuts theirs off. And you look over, and you can see there's a cloaked figure standing there. The hand is this sort of cerulean blue skin. You see the hand sort of reaching for it, and just kind of stops short as Vincent sort of pulls one from its stand there to look at it, kind of draws backwards. And you follow that sort of cloaked blue arm up to the face. And for a moment, you see Ezra. No. Auna. No.
No.
Neither.
What?
They're similar in appearance, very similar, but it's not either of them. Kind of lean back. You can see that hidden white and sapphire hair and a scar over the eye. As he just kind of stares on, follows the flower, and turns his head as he looks at Vincent very excitedly, sort of picking the flower, just kind of stares at it for a moment. Before there is a massive hand on his shoulder. Belonging to a easily 10-foot tall man. Arms and legs the size of tree trunks.
Thick.
A massive cloak covers what looks to be clothes similar to the clothes that you found Auna in. And his voice rumbles like thunder. We are not to be late, boy. He's no man. He defines our existence, that is true. You're talking about taking down a god. He looks away from Vincent. A smirk across his face. As he turns to look at his father.